All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys were able to process what was happening in that last video. We're now moving on to the second part to this adding and subtracting fractions with the same denominator, and we're now talking about mixed numbers. We're going to be adding and subtracting these mixed numbers now. So let's go to this slide here. So when you're looking at mixed numbers, if you look at what happened here, we have 2 1/5 plus 6 3/5. Now the denominators are the same here, so we know that we can add these. But what they do is they take them apart and they add the whole numbers, the 2 plus the 6, which gives you 8. And then over here to the side, they also add the fractions. You have 1/5 plus 3/5, and it gives you 4/5. So ultimately, when you put the two together, 2 1/5 plus 6 3/5, the answer is 8 4/5. Let's take a look at this next slide. So we have 3 5/7 and 8 7/6. Okay, so we know that 3 plus 8 is 11, right? We added the whole numbers. The denominators are the same, so we can add straight across. So looking over here, 5 7 plus 6 7, 5 and 6 is 11. That gives you 11 over 7. Well, remember, that's an improper fraction, so we have to, improper fraction. So we have to make that a mixed number. So when we make that a mixed number, that becomes, how many of these is left over? Well, 4. So it becomes 1 and 4 over 7. And what happens with this 1 is this 1 will now add to this 11, and the answer to this question will become 12 and 4/7. All right, let's make sure we're processing that. If you need to add this to your notes, please make sure you do so. Once again, if you need to add this information to your notes, please make sure that you do so. Let's try one. All right, so I want you guys to go ahead and pause the video, and as you pause the video, work these out, and then I'll come back and I'll work them out, and we'll compare answers. All right, let's take a second to analyze what happened here. That should be 12 and 7 is 19. So that gives you 19. I'm struggling to write my 9s, ladies and gentlemen. And then 3 plus 1 gives you 4 over 8. But we all should know that is the ugliest 8. But that's okay. We're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with the punches. All right. So we all know that 4 over 8 really reduces to 1/2. So the answer to that question is 19 1/2. Let's take a look at this next example. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. Once again, my 9s are very ugly. So we're going to roll with it. 4 plus 23, that gives you 27 as our whole number. That's 27. Okay. So now we're looking at 7/9 and 5/9. 7 plus 5 gives you 12. Oh, this is a loaded one. I see it now. That's 12 over 9, right? 12 over 9 is the same as 9 over 9. That's our one whole, correct? Plus what? How much is left over? 3 over 9, right? So that's really 1 3/9. But the problem is this. 3 can be divided by 3 and 9 can be divided by 3. So if you got 3 here and 3 here, 3 over 3 is 1, 9 over 3 is 3. So the answer to this question is this 1 that's a whole right here adds to that 27 as a whole, and it becomes 20. Here comes another 8. 28. Oh, that's not bad. I didn't finish it. There we go. Still ugly. 28 and 1/3. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing, keep it pushing, keep it pushing. All right, subtraction. Woo! This one's gonna be loaded. We almost through, y'all. We almost through. So you're looking at same thing, same concept. You're going to subtract the whole numbers, and then you're going to subtract the numerator for the denominator. Remember, I'm sorry, the numerator from the numerator. Remember, the denominators are the same, so we don't have to worry about that. So you end up with 8 minus 3, which is 5, right? And now you have 4 minus 1, which is 3 over the denominator of 5. So the answer to this one would be 5 3/5. coming over to our next example, though. Looking at this, you have 16 minus 2 3/4. All right, so I'm going to have to actually come over here to my whiteboard. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to set this up on my whiteboard for you guys. Boom, just like that, just like magic there my whiteboard is. All right, you guys got to see what happens right here. You cannot subtract 1 from 3, okay? So what happens is this. This 16 crosses out and it now becomes a 15. But what's happening here is this fraction here is over a base of 4. So what you're looking at is you're looking at 4 over 4, right, plus 1 over 4. Now what's happening here is when I take 1 from the 16, I'm adding 1 whole. But since I'm adding to that a fraction, we have to make this fraction equivalent to 1 whole, which is 4 over 4, because the base power of this denominator is 4. If it was an 8, then it would have been 8 over 8. If it was a 9 here, then it would have been 9 over 9, but the denominator is 4, so it's 4 over 4. So what happens is this now becomes 5 over 4. Now that that's 5 over 4, we can subtract the 3/4 from that. 5 minus 3 gives you 2 over 4. But this can be reduced to 1/2. If you divide both of those by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 gives you 2. Okay? So that's what happened there. You guys may need to pause that and jot that information down in your notes so that you can have it, because that's loaded. That is loaded information on dealing with fractions. I understand that a lot of you struggle with fractions. There it is. Get it down in your notes. Ask questions about it. All right? So moving on. Now we can deal with the whole number component, which is 15 minus 2, which is 13. So our answer to this question is 13 1/2. All right. If you guys need to rewind that part, please rewind it so you can make sure that you understand what I said. All right. Let's get back to our PowerPoint. It's basically what they did here. 13 1/2. Ooh, see, I know my math, y'all. I'm a bad man. I'm trying to tell you. All right, here we go. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to pause the video and I want you to try these two out, and that's going to be our last 2 slides for that, for this section. Pause the video, try it out. Boom, once again, like magic, there it is. All right, so this first one, we're looking at 13 over 12 minus 5 over 12. This one is straightforward, ladies and gentlemen. 13 minus 5 gives you, let's see, my pencil. Oh, there you go. My pencil's back. My pencil wasn't there first. All right, let's go back to my pencil. 13 minus 5 gives you 8. Okay, now we're looking at 11 over 12 minus 5 over 12. 11 minus 12 gives you 6 over 12. Is that the answer? I hope you guys said no, because that reduces. Both of those can be divided by 6. 6 divided by 6 gives you 1. 12 divided by 6 gives you 2. So the answer would be 8 1/2. All right, let's move to this next one. This next one is one of those loaded questions. All right. So looking at this, the denominator is 25. You cannot take 21 from 13. So you have to add to that. So if we're looking at this, you have to add to that 25 over 25. Now what's happening here is I'm taking 1 whole piece out of this 38. What is 1 whole piece? Well, 1 whole piece is 25 out of 25. Why am I using 25? Because the base denominator here is 25. Okay? So that's 25 out of 25, and we're adding that 1 whole piece to 13 over 25. Okay? Make sure we're getting this down in our notes if we made errors on that part. Excuse my ugly 5 right there. So now we're looking at 13 plus 25. 13 plus 25 gives you 38. So the answer to this is 38 over 25. So I'm going to scroll down so you can see this complete new fraction. The real fraction, this crosses out. That's now 37. So this new fraction is really 37 and 38 over 25. And we're subtracting from that. What are we subtracting? That looks like a 21 over 25. Uh-oh, I left the whole number out. It's 21, that's why. Yeah, I don't really want to erase all of that. I'm going to erase it because I don't want to confuse anybody. Let's erase that. Let's make sure we get that right because I don't want anybody confused. That should have been 21 and 21 over 25. Okay, so now, looking at the whole numbers, you got 37 minus 21. 37 minus 21. Okay, so 37, this is the whole numbers. 37 minus 21 gives you 16. And now you're dealing with the 38 over 25 minus the 21 over 25. So we now have 38 minus 21. 38 over 25 minus 21 over 25. And I'm going to come down here. And that equals 17 over 25. So the answer here will be 16 and 17 over 25. Okay, so that's a loaded PowerPoint, guys. Make sure you guys understand what happened on that. I kind of took my time with this section because there's a lot in that one. So guys, make sure you go back over that. Make sure you jot this information down in your notes. And make sure you understand it. Remember, the better you understand this information, the better you will be at Algebra 1 when you guys get to it next year. All right, man, you guys check this out. Go over it, and peace.